Now, it has been praised by Prince Charles and publicly supported by many prominent British Asians. But an investigation by Channel 4 News reveals that amongst the beneficiaries of money raised by the aid organization Sewa International are Hindu extremists behind a campaign of violence in India. More than 1,000 people, mostly Muslims, died in Gujarat this March. We show that money from unsuspecting donors in Britain ended up in the hands of the violent fundamentalists who incited the violence. Jonathan Miller has this report.
Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha.
Sunday morning in West London. These young Hindus are attending a local branch of the RSS, India's biggest Hindu nationalist group. Its British arm, the HSS, is a charity registered here for nearly 30 years. Every week across Britain, there are 72 meetings like this one.
As most ethnic minority youngsters will tell you, it's important to know where you come from, who you are, in order to face the rest of society. That's the way it is, and that's how HSS has helped me coming to Shaka develop a sense of identity.
But is the HSS really just a watered-down version of this? The headquarters of the RSS in India. Up to 60 British volunteers like Rahul come to India for training every year on funds raised by the HSS charity. Critics express concern about the organization's ideology.
The RSS is like a fascist youth movement, like Black Shirts or something like that, but perhaps with deeper roots in Black Shirts, because RSS has been there now for nearly 75 years plus.
In that time, the RSS has evolved a unique and some say potentially lethal philosophy.
The core ideas of the RSS are based on an ideology called Hindutva, or Hindu nationalism. Now, this was an idea formed in the 1920s, and at the root of it is the idea that India has to be an exclusive Hindu nation-state, in which minorities must demonstrate unconditional love and obedience to the nation. If they don't, then they're to be either converted forcibly or removed. So, for example, one popular Hindutva slogan is that Muslims in India have only two places, Pakistan or Kabristan, Kabristan meaning the graveyard.
In March, the burning alive of 58 Hindu pilgrims by a Muslim mob in Gujarat enraged Hindu nationalists.
It boils up my blood. Hindus in India have gone through a period of very humiliating subjugation for past 700 years. We are prepared to forgive for that. We cannot forget it.
The Hindu nationalist backlash was immediate. In the Indian state of Gujarat, more than 2,000 Muslims were killed and several 100,000 displaced in the worst communal disturbance since partition. Several inquiries, including one by the British High Commission, saw the hand of the RSS and its associated organizations behind the violence. Back in Britain, Channel 4 News has learned how Special Branch responded to the Gujarat violence. They started a watching brief on the HSS. In addition, the Charity Commission was alerted to allegations that money raised for the HSS in Britain might fund communal violence in India. In September, they announced a formal investigation into the Leicester-based charity. This is focusing on Seva International, the HSS's welfare and relief arm, which raises millions for Indian emergencies and development.
Our concern is to make sure that any charity directs its funds properly to that charitable cause, to the good cause it exists to promote, and to make sure that they're not misleading donors during the process. So we want to make sure that there's a very clear line between the money that's given here in the UK in this case and the needy people in very urgent need of assistance and help in Gujarat.
For 3 months, Channel 4 News has been investigating the activities of the HSS, how they raise money, and what they do with it.
A powerful, destructive earthquake caused one of the biggest catastrophes in history in the Indian
This appeal for earthquake victims in Gujarat last year raised more than £4 million and could hardly have been more high profile. It earned the praise of the Prince of Wales, whose office wrote that the Prince continues to be most impressed by the excellent work being done by Seva International. Seva recruited 4 peers as patrons, including President of the Liberal Democrat Party Lord Dalakia, and Cabinet Minister Paul Boateng attended a fundraising event.
Please send your donations.
Many donors are unaware that Seva International is part of the HSS. That's because Seva is not actually registered as a charity. It simply borrows the HSS charity registration number. Among those who now feel deceived is Lord Adam Patel of Blackburn, one of the patrons in its earthquake appeal.
Well, I was absolutely shocked. Absolutely shocked. They were involved directly or indirectly in many, many communal riots. They were involved in destroying the Ayodhya mosque. So I said, what's going on? Have I landed my name to the wrong organization?
It does seem that the organization, for all its links with the HSS, the RSS, does indeed do good work.
Well, I've never ever been to the Gujarat. And if they did, some good work, yes, I congratulate them. But their association with, these sort of organizations, I don't approve it.
In August, Lord Patel wrote a letter demanding details of Seva International's links to Hindu nationalist groups in India. When he did not receive answers, he resigned.